Hey there, and welcome back to Xbox On. Henry here with the latest batch of weekly deals for you. Before we get stuck into the bargain, a couple of things to keep in mind. First off, most of the week's very best offers are what's known as deals with gold, meaning you'll need an Xbox Live Gold membership to unlock them. Second, if you're watching in America, you might notice slightly different discount amounts, but all of these games are still on offer on both sides of the pond. And finally, you'll probably know this already, but we're coming up on the dealiest time of the year, Black Friday. We'll be back with a bumper edition then, so for all of you bargain hunters out there, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have hit the notification bell to get filled in on all the latest deals. So, with that all said, let's get on to our first deal.
Now, if you've already been enjoying Watch Dogs Legions or just admiring it from afar, then we've got a bit of good news for you. Both of the previous games in the series are on offer this week through deals with gold. Let's start, logically, with the first game. Watch Dogs introduced us all to the hacktivist group known as DedSec and a dystopian version of Chicago. But most importantly, to the series' unique blend of open world city exploration and technical wizardry. So you can choose whether to hijack cars or simply hack them with your phone. So if you're at all curious about the origins of Watch Dogs, now's a great time to jump in because someone seems to have hacked the Xbox store and brought the prices down by 2/3.
Now let's hop over to the West Coast with a whopping 80% off Watch Dogs 2. It's like the Gold Rush all over again. The deals with Gold Rush. This sequel takes the action to the San Francisco Bay Area because, really, where better to fight the technological powers that be than in the heart of Silicon Valley? It's not all dystopian doom and gloom, though. That California sunshine seeps into every corner of the game with a cast that's as colourful as the scenery and a bright and breezy tone that suits your app-given abilities for wreaking havoc. It's good vibes, in other words, especially at this price, so check it out.
Our next deals with gold game is a little less cheery, though no less brilliant. 70% off World War Z. It's a post-apocalyptic co-op shooter where you team up with a few pals and try to hold off the Horde in an all manner of exotic locations. One minute you're mashing monsters in Moscow, the next avoiding a noggin noshing in New York. The base game is actually included with Xbox Game Pass, but if you're a subscriber, this is still great news because you can also pick up World War Z's Season Pass for half price, with a load of playable heroes, head-smashing weapons, and even a whole extra mini-campaign set in the French Riviera. All in all, there's enough on offer here to keep you and a few friends going through pretty much any apocalypse.
Now from one apocalypse to another with the Division 2 Warlords of New York edition. This looter shooter imagines a dark future where a pandemic has brought the United States to its knees and the White House is an embattled fortress. But anyway, the important thing here is the looting and the shooting are tightly honed, with tense cover-grabbing battles and loads of weapons and skills to get theory crafting with. Oh, and the Warlords of New York edition? That just means you get an enormous expansion that adds the Big Apple as a location alongside Washington DC, along with a completely reworked gear system and a whole new game mode, all for less than half the usual price.
Our next game is, I'm pretty sure, what the phrase back in the saddle was invented for, because in Trials Rising, you'll mount your trusty motorcycle, speed off a ramp, and, inevitably, come crushing down to the dirt. Then, pick yourself back up, get back in the saddle, and try again, and again, and again, until you're an absolute stunt master, pulling off some incredible tricks. And then you can get your friends involved battling it out on the same track or even on the same bike with an incredible tandem co-op mode, which doubles the riders and the chaos. Grab Trials Rising for 60% off before it all comes crashing down.
Next up, a blast from the past. Emphasis on the blast with Borderlands The Handsome Collection. You can get 75% off this bundle through deals with gold. Inside you'll find two absolute bangers, Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel plus all their add-ons, all given a fresh 4K remaster for Xbox One. If you've played any of the Borderlands games, you should know what to expect. High-octane co-op action, a slightly unhinged sense of humour, and guns. Lots and lots of guns. Each game has 6 character classes to choose from, all with sprawling skill trees to make them your own. So there's tons of variety here, and that's before you even take the endless supply of procedurally generated weapons into account.
Sticking with the past for a minute, we've got to bring attention to all the Splinter Cell offers in this week's Deals with Gold. You can score a neat 60% off every single game in the series, from the original right through to Blacklist, and honestly, they're all great. If you're new to the adventure of Sam Fisher, Chaos Theory is the 3rd game in the series and pretty much a perfect summation of everything that made these the must-play stealth games in OG Xbox days. Hiding in the shadows and studying your enemies, waiting for the perfect moment to roll on past, or doing a split jump to wait above their heads and literally get the drop on them. It's good stuff.
Also in this week's Deals with Gold is Splinter Cell's Sin City set sister series Rainbow Six Vegas. Before there was Siege, there was this, an amazing tactical shooter that made managing your squad just as important as aiming and shooting. You can issue commands with the D-pad, getting the other Rainbow lads to take cover, lay down suppressive fire, or drop a grenade at just the right moment. And if you'd rather entrust that stuff to a friend, there's a 2-player couch co-op mode. Just be aware that they might not be quite as responsive to your commands as the obedient AI.
Right, let's finish with a bit of a hidden gem and our first non-gold deal this week, Owlboy for half price. This indie platformer was in development for almost 10 years, and it's easy to see why. The retro art style is literally pixel perfect with an equally beautiful soundtrack. But it's the gameplay that really shines the most. You play as the titular bird chap, capable of flying, but not much else. But he can choose to carry one of his friends around with him, which is pretty impressive in its own right, and opens up a whole host of extra abilities, from your basic guns to Spider-Man style string shot. If you're a fan of the RE games looking for something similar, Owlboy is a game that truly soars.
So there you have it, another great set of weekly deals for you to enjoy, especially for any Xbox Live Gold subscribers out there. Let us know which ones you're planning to pick up down in the comments, and remember to smash that like button. We'll see you next time. Bye!